Hi everyone, it's Susie. Thanks so much for inviting me into your house tonight to show you how to make this great little shabby chic pumpkin. I had promised in my last video where I showed that I made these really cute butterflies, which I have a tutorial on my site, so you can go over to my YouTube channel that you're on now and see the tutorial on these butterflies and how cute they are. But tonight I'm going to show you how to make this pumpkin. It's just going to be the pumpkin with the stem. So let's get started on that one. What I have here is a piece of muslin fabric, and what I'm going to do here is let me see the measurements on this. To be honest with you, if you ever watch my videos, I don't really measure anything. I just do it by eye. I don't plan on making a really big pumpkin, but the larger your fabric is, the larger size your fabric is, the bigger your pumpkin will be in the end. So this piece, what I have right here, measures just a little bit over 18 inches. And, oh, I'm sorry, I'll give you the other way around measurement. So it's 18 inches by 8.5 inches. Just in case if you want to make it the same size that I am. I don't know what size this is going to turn out to be until I'm actually ready to go. So, and if you hear that, those are my dogs. Sorry about that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to fold this in half, and you're going to grab your either sewing machine or a needle and thread, and you're going to do a running stitch across the bottom with the both pieces closed. And I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. Okay friends, I'm back, and I'm just going to show you what I've done. I really didn't want to stay with you online on the video live while I'm making running stitches. So what I've done was I folded the fabric in half, and I want to make sure that there are 3 sides, like you're making a bag almost. The original side you folded, the side that you did a running stitch, very simple. You don't have to be a professional sewer for that. I mean, if you don't know how to sew and you want to use your fabric tack, I guess that would be okay too. I haven't tried it, so don't quote me on that. So you do your running stitch on the second side, and then on the third side your running stitch again. So you have 3 sides that are closed. Then you're going to take your fabric, it looks like a bag, and you're going to turn it inside out like so. I'm just going to fix it up a little bit. Okay, and you got everything nice and tight and closed. I did a double running stitch just to make sure that everything was completely sealed. And before I started the second half of this video, what you would also need to do is to close this when you're done stuffing it. You're going to have to run a running stitch, not closed, but you're going to have to run it all around the edges while the bag is still open. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. Guys, you know it's midnight, my dogs are outside and they're barking their heads off. My neighbors are going to hate me. Okay. You're going to get some of this stuff that's called, hope you can see that, yes. It's 100% polyester Fiberfill, and this is what I use to make pillows and anything that needs to be stuffed, dolls or whatever it may be. This one is hyperallergenic, and I buy the same stuff all of the time, so this is a pound of it for like $5.99 in my fabric store. So you're going to use this stuff, unless you want to use beans or something like that, or rice, you can certainly do that. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to grab a big chunk of it, ooh, and I'm going to stuff it in there. Okay. I want to stuff it in like it's a ball, but I don't want it to look bunchy, so I'm kind of trying to like maneuver it inside a little bit here. Okay. So you see it's starting to fill up. I'm trying to stuff this so that the fabric gets nice and firm, and you have a stiff pumpkin. See, this one is really easy to make because it's so tiny. but I happened to cut a large piece of this muslin fabric. So sorry about the barking. Okay, I'm not going to stuff any more in here, and I'm just going to go on to the next step. So what you're going to do is you're doing that running stitch all the way around, and you're going to pull. Pull as hard as you can, but not hard to break the string, unless you use something like a floss or some kind of an embroidery thread on the top. Then you can pull nice and hard, but I used regular sewing thread, so I'm not going to do that. And then I'm just going to hold this tight and I'm going to go ahead and just secure this with a couple of stitches, which this is also very simple. Even if you don't know how to sew, you should be able to do a couple of these stitches and you'll be fine. Just don't stab yourself, because I've done that 1,000,001 times. Now you see what I do here. Okay, there's a knot somewhere. Why does this have to happen when I'm recording? Does this ever happen? I really think I'd have more bloopers. Oops. I just ripped a thread. Okay, let's find where the thread is. Alright, there's a knot there, so that's good. Okay. So, saved by the knotted thread. I'm just going to push down on my desk so I don't hurt myself. I'm so fragile. Okay, this seems pretty good. It's not going to go anywhere but sit down somewhere. Okay, and I'm just going to cut that off. And you're probably like, is that a pumpkin or what? Alright, so I'm just going to try to make this more into like a ball, kind of. Alright, this is it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. And what I have here is some twine. I bought a big roll of twine about 1.5 years ago, and every time I need something to wrap something, I use this. So I'm using the twine. Over here I use really pretty satin pink fabric and pink wool, but if I use pink on pink, you're not going to see anything what I'm doing. So I thought I'd stay nice and light with the taupe color, the brown twine, and we'll be good. Alright, so now when you're doing the pumpkin, I should have went and... Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. I had to go run to the entranceway of my house and get you one of these pumpkins just to show you. Like, we all know what pumpkins look like, but sometimes you just need a little refresher, right? Okay, so these are one of those plastic pumpkins from Michael's. I have a big decorative area when you come into my house, so I grabbed a little pumpkin. Alright, so being that these have like all these ridges, we're going to do that. So we're just going to tie this around here. Okay. And leave yourself like a little tail here. Tie one tie like that. Tight. Don't be scared. Nothing's going to happen. Okay? And then, like, following the ridges the way the pumpkin is, you're going to go across this way. And you'll notice that this is going to start to form. And these points that stick out here, don't even worry about them. Just stick them in there. Stick them in. You're not going to see it. Okay. And then turn it upside down like you're tying a box almost. See, and by tying this kind of tight, that really big pumpkin shrunk down a lot. Okay, now you're going to do it again. Okay, let me just open this up here, because I need to give myself a little bit more room. And this is kind of good that I screwed it up a little bit so that you can see also. All right. Leave yourself a tail, not too long, but okay, here we go. In half. And notice I didn't tie the half in any kind of knot, because just in case, see if I didn't do this right. Just leave yourself a tail. Okay. Maybe I'm not tying it tight enough. You would think I have a tremendous audience right in this room with me the way I get nervous. Okay. Oops. Bloopers 4,000. Okay. To end this problem, I am going to get a really, really big piece of this stuff. It's hanging on the wall. I'm not messing this up. Okay, here we go. Now, once again, Susie is attempting to do the pumpkin live on YouTube. Tie that. So sorry, guys. Okay. Yay. And this way. And this way. I guess it doesn't really matter which way you turn your pumpkin. And I like it that it's kind of crinkly looking, because again, I'm going like the Shabby route for this. I'm just going to bring this underneath one of these, and when you're doing it, you'll see that it kind of tapers the twine down a little bit. Trying to stay in picture there. And you're just going to bring this into like you're making a knot. Okay. And you are going to make a knot. Okay. And then you've got this extra long piece for some other pumpkin. And you've got this really cute pumpkin that you will have to play with the ridges, and you'll have to like squish it down a little to try and start to mold the cotton inside, your twine fitting in there. And the very first pumpkin that I made, hopefully you saw it, sorry, was this one. And making this one is the same idea as this, is that instead of having a short top when you're doing that pull through, you're going to have a really long piece and not that much cotton. And then do the same as this and twirl it around. It's really cute. So that was the first one I did. And I actually saw these in the window at a place nearby where I live. And I just was staring at it, trying to figure out how she made it. Because of course I went in to ask her, how do you make those? And she really wasn't very friendly to tell. So I just looked at them and I just kind of figured it out on my own. It's not major science to try and figure it out. You just need to have a little bit of patience. See, and again you can see that I'm kind of playing around here just to make sure it's almost even. Isn't that cute? And this is kind of a flatter pumpkin, and that's good. So just not saying that that's that, but just to give you an idea. So now, being that I'm going the Shabby route on this, you'll see that I'm almost done. The bottom half of this you're really not worried about, because it'll be sitting down in a basket or a table or whatever you like. And so the fun part comes now, embellishing. And I had seen the woman's pumpkins and tried to figure out what she did, because on mine I have the stem that's just a rolled up piece of fabric. I don't know what she used, but I wanted something stiff. So here I have just a piece of felt. And so I'm just going to roll this up really quick. So how I'm doing that, I'm rolling it and keeping it tight with my my hot glue gun. My husband is sleeping. If he wakes up and comes in here, I gotta like let him know I'm recording. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to get too thick on this, so I'm just going to end it right there. Because this is a small pumpkin, so I don't need it to be too wide and thick. I want it to look lifelike and fun. So these little tails hanging off, you can shorten them a little bit because you're not going to see it. Everything's knotted, everything's good. And so we're just going to take this here and put it right in the center. But before I do that, what would be fun, which it just came to my mind right now, about making some leaves possibly. I'm just looking to see if I had some mulberry paper, some straight paper. I'm just going to go over to my stash here. And I have some mulberry paper. These are really beautiful. That's what I used to make my mulberry paper flowers. I don't know how long we're videoing, so I'm going to stop this and go on to another video, part 3. Hi, it's Susie, and we are going to attempt to make some leaves. I'm just looking for my leaf punch. It would be nice if I had it out in the open here. I thought I did, but I'm never ready, as you all know. So sorry. That's no good. Okay, did my room eat the leaf punch? I guess it did, because I have nowhere. I have no idea where it is, but I'm not going to worry about that because I'm going to cut my own out. Okay. Just cut out a piece of something here, and to make a leaf, I'm just going to cut one out, kind of like a leaf size, on my own. I mean, naturally, the nice punch that I had would have cut a really pretty leaf out, but if you have a leaf punch or a die for leaves, that would be really great. And I would say to crumble them up a little bit, especially if you're using mulberry paper, because just to give it that shabby look, plus real leaves are not perfect anyway. So, okay, we're just going to put a little glue in there, and we're going to go ahead and, oops, be careful not to burn yourself. And we're going to put those leaves in. Try to hold them down if you can. And then we're going to get the stem that I made, and that's going to go right on top of the leaves. Just going to hold that a little bit. And, you know, you're doing a shabby chic pumpkin here, so if you want to add some, possibly some little flowers that you may have in your stash, you can certainly do that. If you want it to be shabby, you can. And shabby colors are like pink and cream. If you want to, you know, just keep them in a general color, you certainly can do whatever you like. There is no rule. So I'm just going to put, I'm going through my stuff over here saying, what am I using? You know I'm really recording live. Let me see this. So I'm just going to use a couple of roses and okay. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab, just trying to get ideas right off the top of my head. I'm gonna grab this little piece of twine, tie it around here. Not that I need to, because we used the twine just now. But I'm just gonna have it hanging off the side a little. And just going to get a couple of flowers here. And I don't want these little cream colored roses to look too white. So I'm just going to grab this sponge with some vintage photo ink on there. I'm just going to do that with 2 little burgundy roses. Just going to put some hot glue in here. Just don't plan it. Don't be afraid. Just go in and do it. You can tell how I am with this. And so, and you can see this could be like a really, really cute little gift for somebody. Maybe you're going to a friend's house for dinner and you want to just bring like a cute little pumpkin. This is adorable. You can use any fabric really. I've used the satin fabric, the muslin for this one. That's really all that I used. And you can see like a store-made plastic pumpkin against that. It's total difference. And just if you want to just get a feel for like you ladies that like to make stick pins, you can certainly use that as a stick pin holder. See? Just stick it in there. So it could be for your stick pins. You don't necessarily need to use this for Halloween or Thanksgiving or fall. You can use this all year round because it's shabby and it'll match your room. And the more you flatten it out, the better it looks. So there is your shabby chic handmade fabric pumpkin, and you can get the separate video that I have for the pumpkins with the butterflies, and I show you how to make those as well. And I'll still have pictures at the end of this video just to show you in another angle. Thanks so much for watching.